Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This week's video is the follow-up to last week's video. I think if you saw last week's video on sibling relationship, you know that the last part of the video was a corrupted file. I couldn't include it, and so now I'm gonna do this. Really? So it was about unrealistic expectations. What are unrealistic expectations? They're expectations that are not age or maturity appropriate. Sometimes we have to ask our children to behave in ways that are not age appropriate. Sometimes, you know, illness takes its toll, a personal crisis takes its toll, or financial difficulties, and our children might have to behave in ways that are not typical of children their age. I think this is normal. I have a large family. I have to ask my older kids to help with the little ones. And I think this is normal. But sometimes, if we have to ask our children to behave above and beyond what is reasonable to expect from a child their age, it's really important that we recognize it. I was talking with adults who had troubled relationship with their own siblings, like as adults. And one of the things that came back over and over again is that one of them was expected to do, for instance, they were expected to be the voice of reason for a sibling who was not reasonable. So a sibling who was falling in with their, so when they went to school, they were expected to keep an eye on their troublesome sibling, make sure they didn't get in with the wrong crowd, make sure he didn't get into trouble. And they were always expected to be the good kid, because to their siblings, bad kid act, and they really resented that. It was never recognized by their parents. It was always expected, and this is where I'm getting at with unreasonable expectation. It's okay to demand more of our children. When we come to expect behavior that is not age appropriate, and we don't recognize that the demand is onerous, like we're asking a lot. It's okay to ask a lot. Sometimes what really matters is that we recognize it, right? Ultimately, we are the parent. The buck stops here. It's really important that we don't abdicate responsibility and lay it on our children's shoulders, right? So this is where unrealistic expectations, it's not about asking for more. It's about recognizing that we're asking for more and following up with the child to make sure he's okay, right? For instance, if you expect a child to always be the snitch, you know, what cost does this have for your child? Is this costing him friendship in school? You know, is this costing his social life in school, for instance? Are you following up with that? Are you making sure your child is okay? Are you making sure you're doing everything you can before asking your child to do this work? Right? Like, have you tapped into all the resources you can, you know, to make sure that your child who is not troubled doesn't end up being psychologist, personal shopper, social worker, addiction counselor, right? Like, are you recognizing what you are demanding of your children if you're going through a phase of your life where you're asking more than normal? So this was the last part of my sibling relationship on unreasonable expectations. I hope you found it interesting. I've put all the 4 videos into a playlist, and so here on YouTube, so you can check my channel, find that playlist, and you can have the 4 videos together. And please let me know if there's any topics you'd like me to tackle, and I'll try to do it. And visit my Facebook page, Fearless Family Life. This is where I put a lot of what goes through my mind on a weekly basis. So thank you very much for listening, and talk to you soon.